Batman's stories will always be about his villains, at least the good ones anyway. When the Gotham villain is done right, they should represent Batman's inner demons. And the finale of Batman Caped Crusader was sure to drive that point home. For the finale, I want to cover episodes 9 and 10 because they're connected and honestly should have just been one. No spoilers if you haven't finished Batman Caped Crusader. I've been a Harvey Dent hater this entire season, and now he's my favorite character. I know people were worried about him, but this is an appropriate response to getting acid thrown on your face at work. And I think the fact that he hasn't even attempted suicide speaks volumes of his character. I realized last episode that Renee was a hater when she had that conversation with Barbara Gordon, but this was hating on a level that I felt like was unnecessary. The man just got acid thrown in his face for doing the right thing. She was being so flippant about it, like she wasn't just on a date with a psychopath. Like, her hateration was so strong that I was agreeing with Bullock. Yeah, he was a little bit dirty, but he, for the most part, was trying to clean up the streets. Actually, her father figure, Jim, was spitting that same rhetoric that Harvey Dent was to Barbara 2 episodes ago. And even if he was a little dirty, which we did see earlier in the season, he just got acid thrown in his face for doing the right thing. And she talking about him like a dog. Renee, I'm watching you. Inviting Harvey for his first outing since his face got burned off to this well-lit dinner is treacherous, especially since his intentions wasn't to cheer up Harvey, but to interrogate him. Did he not consider that this man would be insecure? Couldn't help but feel bad watching his intrusive thoughts eat him alive at this dinner. Eat, stay, half his mouth don't work. And like, Bruce was fucking that shit up. Look how he ate this steak, no knife. I would have swung on him too. Then he was all shocked when he was talking to Alfred, like, I don't know why he was losing it. I hate the way that Batman has been treating Alfred. I peeped that at the end of the episode, he finally called him Alfred instead of Pennyworth, finally giving him the respect we know he deserved. They're doing a good job showing that Bruce is not a great guy. Some of these shots were to die for. You could definitely see Matt Reeves' influence. This is the scene where I realized that his deformed half is supposed to be the one with remorse, that his intrusive evil thoughts come from the handsome side. I'm gonna hold you, this felt like justice. I know we were watching a man unravel, but I was kind of cheering him on. I do not know how you come back from burning a man alive. This is kind of proportionate to burning my face off. We're obviously into burning, so let's go ahead and give you a taste of your own medicine. That man is wild, boy. He just jumped up on this man's car. At best, they were gonna crash and he was gonna seriously injure himself. This young Batman, don't be thinking Jekyll and Hyde moment was to die for. Especially since this was him debating whether or not he should clap a child. Once again, this directing is top notch. Seeing him pull up the gun and covering his bad half while considering mercy, only to move to his handsome side and be like, nah, I'm gonna kill you and your daddy. And then they show that he has to cover that side to submit himself to Batman. The follow-up, when Barbara approaches him, notice that the prominent side is the deformed one. Because he's remorseful, he's considering what he did. What a full circle moment to see the same debate that we saw in episode 1 between Barbara and Harvey again about the nuances of committing crimes, except for this time Barbara is debating Harvey's own goodness, and it was her being dirty with that two-sided coin finally gained Harvey's respect. I wonder how much the disparity in mental health contributes to people seeking out said help. I could definitely see people being like, I'm not as crazy as someone who needs their piggy, and feeling like they don't belong here. At this time, Harvey understands that he is not well and he deserves to be there. And he takes accountability, something that Batman isn't even willing to do, because Harvey's intentions were always good. He greased his palms a bit and he did a couple shady things, but to be honest, that's the only reason why he was able to get as far as he could. And the minute that it went too far, he dubbed it. Honestly, to me, the best character arc that we've seen all season. I'm glad Barbara called out Batman for just showing up in her crib. It's clear that the writers don't want you to associate Batman with the GCPD, and making Barbara his point person instead of Jim actually does that. He actually doesn't really interact with Jim at all. Because like Barbara, he wants to help the people of Gotham in alignment with them and point out the GCPD's shortcomings. Of the nod to the bat symbol and how ridiculous that was. Even in the 40s, he's like, just call my Jack. Like, what's wrong with you? Did y'all notice Bruce's mask slip real quick? Once again, this man pulls up to Harvey during recovery and tries to get him to do what he wants. When he doesn't react the way that he should, his first instinct is to be like, well, why are you trying to be clean now? Bruce, you suck. Like, this was so disgusting that it shocked Bruce himself to shake himself out of it. Bruce is new to this game and he's having issues being objective. And he's also realizing that it's really hard to be clean. Barbara with the Blake will always be my favorite. The courage that this woman has to actually chase this man after he got kidnapped, she's been just as effective as she would have if she was Batgirl. You know what? Harvey held his own. I don't know if I should be impressed with the fact that he was able to outsmart Flash and Bullock because they're clearly dumb, but I love the fact that he was able to plant a seed that I think we're going to see the fruits of in the next season. This entire dock scene was so exciting. Harvey was out here really trying to be a hero. Hearing him willing to give himself up to the police, knowing that it meant his death, was a final effort to show how much he cares for the people around him and the people of Gotham because they're running amok looking for him. And then cut to the scene where he donkey stomps this man chasing him. I watched it like 5 times. Like, look at Barbara's face. She's like, boy, stop. Keep that when he swung on her, though. He was ready to eat it. She was like, and what? What we gonna do? I got way too excited at the fact that they got an Asian hitman. This is inclusivity at its finest. He ain't doing karate, none of that. Tommy gun and vibes. I thought Bullet was gonna turn on Flash by the end of it. He was dirty to the end. He was ready to kill Barbara. And if Renee didn't pull up, she might have been dead. Batman holding this gun and shooting at Flash genuinely shocked me. Took so many liberties with this show that I thought that they may actually go through with this. So did Flash. Look at his face. Yeah, boy, you shook. Good for you. I was glad he punched him out. And it gave so much power to him actually throwing it away. This is a turning point for Batman, and I think he's going to be a way better version of himself in the upcoming season. His character has been thick all season. The scene made it clear to me that Dent went through this arc so that Bruce didn't. Now his death will serve as a constant reminder for Bruce to be better. And caught Thorne with the Trump special. At this point, Bruce Timm is just showing off. Like, he knows it's he, and he was like, let me remind you that I am that guy. Me and my team cooked all season. You know what? I gotta give him propers. He had me glazing him for 10 episodes straight. When this scene happened, I got really excited that Harley was back and was taking the place of the Joker. And then I realized they wouldn't get a season 2 unless they teased that he was coming up. I know they're gonna do an incredible interpretation of him, but I would have much more enjoyed Harley taking his place. I get it. You have to have the Joker in here. He's very important. I could go without him, you know? I love this season so much. And I'm glad that people who don't read the comic books finally got a good representation of what Batman can be. The series took bold liberties and they all paid off. And I have to applaud them. I'm so sad it's over. I hope we get a new season very soon. But in the meantime, give it 5 out of 5 Frankie Flames for the season and the episode. Please let me know what your thoughts were. And if you want to see more recaps and breakdowns of media, be sure to follow me. Until next time, have a fantastic week, my friends.